Hello and welcome to another match from the top 16 of our Czech DC Masters 2025. My name is Jiří Jindra and I'm one of the commentators. You might have seen me in our videos. I wanted to let you know that we are currently running a subscriber goal. We decided that if we hit 500 subscribers, we will release 7 never seen before rounds we recorded on a second camera during the event for free. And it will be commentated by me and Honza. But guys, you must hit the subscribe button. Now let's jump into the game. Alright, and welcome back our dear viewers. We are actually going to see our final round. The finals of our tournament here after a long, grueling game with Azusa. Yes. How did you enjoy it, Honza?
I must say I'm pretty exhausted. But the thing I'm seeing right now right in front of my eyes is making sure that I am again full of energy, excited. Do you see the playmat with that cute
I'm hyped
pointy hair creature?
You're not specifying which one. Both of them are cute and pointy haired.
Pointy-eared, I wanted to say.
Pointy-eared, okay, sure, that is true. That's the one with the goblin,
and
right?
Do you think that the show and tell art is cute? For me, it's kind of ominous and scary.
I love it. The show and tell art is just so fun. Now, just to clarify for our viewers, this is the finals of Prague Duel Championship 2025. And we are going to see Wojciech Kotek on Muxus Goblin Grandee.
Yeah.
And Michael Hrubý playing Aragorn, King of Gondor.
So the thing is that the hands are pretty much being resolved right now, and as I think the Wojciech Kotek is keeping the 7.
Looks like it.
You can see the rides, you can see some lands, so it might be resolving Muxus Goblin Grandee pretty quickly.
Yeah,
the question is if there is a counter spell for it.
I see a very nice and very beautiful goblin on the side of Wojciech, and there's Ardos. Ardos is just crazy nice, because anything with haste is a bit nicer.
Yeah, and if you are going to really resolve the Muxus, the goblins that will come out will probably have the haste. And also, they are going to be pumped up by +2, +0.
So there was the Den of the Bugbear, which is actually also a goblin. So that's fantastic.
On the other side, the best play in Magic. Island Pass.
Island Pass. Now Ardos resolved. It's a 3-1 haste, basically.
Right now.
Yeah, so smack the face. Hit for 3. It works.
And it sticks around.
Yeah, and still continues to give out the buff, right? Okay, so a land, maybe once again land pass?
You could say that the Aragorn plays are pretty basic.
Those are some basic plays, although it's Blood Moon proof, which is quite important.
And we know that the Muxus plays Blood Moon.
Absolutely. And it can be quite scary with Blood Moon. Okay, so Castle Emberheart.
Yes.
Embercleave, was it?
Emberheart. Embercleave is the equipment.
True.
But Ardos
Combat
attacks
into
mountain cycling with the Oliphant.
Alright, mountain cycling to find some other land, right?
Is it going to be basic?
I don't think so.
Right now you don't need it.
I think we will actually just see some sort of an old dual land.
Yeah, there was already Volcanic Island, but considered, but
Plateau.
But it's going to be Plateau, giving you more white mana if you need.
True, and that is something that's sometimes quite important. Although also Michael just unlocked all 3 colors, right?
Yes.
Which was understandable. So Plateau being found, now there is a lot of options when it comes to colors. Although, quite ominously, Wojciech just passed.
Yes.
With 3 mana open.
We know there is that Rite of Flames in his hand.
Is there a Flash Blood Moon coming?
Probably not.
Probably not, right?
I think that they haven't printed it yet.
Unfortunately. There is the Verge. Is it Verge? Okay, and unable to scream.
Ooh.
Ardos won't be able to scream.
Yeah, she won't be able to scream at her
And there's
fellow
just
goblins
pass.
and pumping them right now.
Okay, that was just a pass, which means that I think that Wojciech is just preparing to set up for Muxus,
This
most
is
likely.
beautiful mountain with, I guess, like the sun being drawn on it.
Yeah,
As you
I
can
like
see.
that the John Avon, one of the greatest arts of basic lands, was improved even.
So Rite of Flame and this
Siege Gang Commando.
haven't seen you
I haven't
for
seen the
so many years.
Like in forever, basically.
Not in forever.
And days.
And it's going to return back.
Yeah, so it doesn't really matter. But it is a nice goblin.
Yeah.
It is very nice goblin. It can kind of run away with the game in a way, at least deal with stuff.
In a way. But
Okay,
on the other side,
Aragorn.
Aragorn.
Monarch, draw card.
Yeah, the crowning has been done. So this thing didn't go off, but right now you are tapped,
Seething Song.
and this gives you enough mana, I guess, for the Muxus.
Absolutely. Seething Song just gives you 5 mana for 3.
Right now the 6th mana is being played, and let's see.
I think it will be
First
just
Muxus.
Muxus.
First Muxus of our
Is
feature
there
matches.
a Force of Will probably, or
Yes,
Force of Will?
there is.
Okay, I love that Wojciech did not even attempt to put the Muxus in play. Just, like, I will try.
But he could show us, because he has
True.
really a beautiful art one. The same one that is on that playmat.
Okay, so now there was just an attack and pass. There is a lot of options now for Michael, because Michael can just basically defend whatever. Just play reactive spells, play interaction.
Yeah. He has answer for everything.
Okay,
this is
Tishana
Tishana Steinbinder
Steinbinder.
really answering for the activation of the Den of the Bugbear, so it wouldn't turn off the
It wouldn't
flame
turn into a
immediately,
creature.
but it just turns it off right now, and you have more creatures. And right now,
and
the
there
Mock
is the
Fanatic.
Mock Fanatic. Mock Fanatic can be at least used to do some more damage potentially.
Yeah,
But
you can like hope for the famous Conspicuous Snoop combo-ish.
yeah, there is like the copying thing and stuff. Oh, and we
But
can
it's
see the
not working
channel.
when it's
We
the-
can see the channel goblin in Wojciech's hand.
So this is, let's be honest, this is pretty bad for
Absolutely.
the Muxus, because the answers came at the right
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
and if you thought that you can play Muxus for free when your opponent was tapped out, well, there was that force, and it forced this game in favor of Aragorn.
Absolutely. The Force of Will was the most impactful card in that
Yeah.
moment, especially if you're trying to resolve a 6 mana commander that your deck completely revolves around.
Also, there is the Flame Slash.
Flame Slash just to deal with something, 1 damage being dealt
Yeah.
to Michael.
Just to make sure
Okay.
nothing else is going on. And
Ocelot Pride. And the Ocelot Pride will actually create, I think, 2 tokens?
Yes.
Is it? Yeah. That's the modern powerhouse we all love. And City's Blessings active, and now it's just gonna...
luckily, it's
run
not the
away with the
Satya,
game.
because when you are getting multiple of the
Yeah.
Ocelots and you have the City Blessing, the
math
counting...
is a bit crazy.
yes.
Because you double the double, you double the double of the double that you doubled.
Right now, not the case, so
It doesn't.
you don't
we don't
need
have
to worry about that.
We don't have to do like triple.
What we have to
doubling.
worry about is if there is going to be Muxus ever
I
resolved on our feature
don't
match.
think this.
There is
the-
Command Beacon.
Command Beacon is nice, but there is not enough mana. And the last
Yeah,
card that's
we
in
know,
the hand of
we
Wojciech
know
is the channel
which
thing.
card is the last one.
Uh,
The only hope is like activating the Command Beacon
yeah.
and hoping that there is a land on the top.
Yes. And you play this just to defend. That is the it just was killed by and that's a
it's
scoop
immediately
from
scoop.
Wojciech. This was very much a dominant performance from Michael. And let's be honest, Force of Will,
Yeah, again.
Force of Will was the card that decided this match. If it weren't for the Force of Will, Michael would probably lose the game.
If you get the free, like the counterspell effect, it really can decide most of the matches. If you were there when we had the interview with the Andrzej Stransky about his new game Showdown, we were talking about appearance of counterspells in their new game, and he said that it wasn't considered much fun in their game, and let's face it, sometimes when you are on the receiving end of the Force of Will, it's not much fun either, even in Magic the Gathering.
But if you are the person doing the countering, it can feel quite nice.
Yeah.
It gives you the power.
There are things you can do when you are the blue player, like stifling your opponent's fetch, which really feels nice and also kind of nasty. So, yeah, let's see.
Now, I believe, honestly, the free spells are really the most impactful part of this format. You know, there are the free Evoke Elementals. There are also the original Force, right?
Yes.
Force spell. And also the new flares and other stuff. These cards really do impact the format, especially when you tap out, you get ready to do something, and then you just get dunked on via your opponent, you know, just casually having a free interaction.
But if you see that your opponent is stepped out, you just can't wait and play around the free spells. That is the issue.
That's the issue, but anything that is basically from modern legality onwards has that thing. I can see defense grid.
Yes,
that can be but not enough stuff for it.
The defense grid was really nice, and it's in the deck especially for these kind of matchups where the opponent is having a lot of instant speed interaction.
They interact on your turn and you just want to say no.
And also the free spells are not that much free.
Yeah, it's much worse to play Force of Will for free by paying 3 mana for it.
Yes.
Although both players went down to 6, which is quite common, you know, you do have to deal with these stuff and just find a hand that you are really happy with. Modern Magic is much more about mulliganing, and I don't know what, maybe showing some dent in a, like, is it okay, I don't know which card it is, could happen, and maybe like resleeving would just take too much time. I do understand. Let's face it, it's almost midnight and the players are tired after a grueling day. They started at 10. Let's just remind everyone, they started at 10 and there was basically no break. Apart from Wojciech having the break after he finished his semifinals. There was no real break, there was no lunch break, there was nothing.
Yeah, the truth is that the last Azusa matchup against Aragorn that we were casting, the Wojciech with his Muxus had break and could really just wait for his opponent. On the other side, Aragorn didn't have that much time to prepare for the last.
It's true. Well, I'm not sure how well was Wojciech preparing. Actually, I was talking to him and I saw, I wouldn't call that like pure concentration and preparing.
Okay.
On the other hand, Michael was in the grind set. He was, you know, he was preparing, he was practicing, he was playing, he was dealing with Azusa. He managed to win the unwinnable fight. He is ready for everything.
His brain wasn't basically shut down. He needs to go on.
He was in full focus,
and on.
but he is able to do it. He smells blood in the water, and now he delivered. He delivered quite well. He gave us, well, it was kind of thanks to the Force of Will. Alright, we can see that Michael is most likely going down to 5.
To 5.
But Wojciech kept the hand of 6. Which means that Wojciech on play will start with 1 additional card.
Yes.
Although down to 5 is still doable, especially if Aragorn is your commander.
Yeah. But if you are really unlucky and you get something like 1 lander or no lander, you just need to go for the 4. And if it goes like this, the Muxus Goblin Grandi is going to have really great advantage in this. game.
Although, like, I know that winning a game via just shuffling your opponent's card and them not having a keepable hand is not the most honorable way of winning.
Also,
it is a way of winning.
It is a way of winning. It happens. We've seen it, and we are going to see it. So
we might see it now. Let's not
now, but in the
foretell.
future, like in Magic the Gathering
Sure,
generally.
sure.
But it seems
just
like
happens.
it's going to be 5 cards. There is just some decisions going on what you want to put down. I've seen Spell Pierce in his hand. The question is if it's going to be staying, because it might prove really useful for some the cards like Rites of Flame, that ramp spells that you get, the rituals.
You know,
But I
let's.
think it's been put on bottom, but I'm not sure.
We shall see.
This is Cactuar.
A cacti.
Cacti. And at this state, it is really
Ruby
something.
Medallion. Alright, that is a card that can really improve the mono red deck.
So
It is-
there are 2 plans you can go for. You can go for either making the Cactuar a 6/6 creature and really beat your opponent with your land.
Sure.
Or you can use the discount that you are getting from
I
the
think-
Ruby Medallion.
Yeah, I think there will be the discount.
And this is one of the
Ooh.
best cards.
But it's gonna get countered, so we don't have to look it up.
Yeah. It's the General Kree.
Yeah, General Kree is a brutal new goblin. Actually, a lot
From
of
the
people
Jumpstart.
were sleeping on the card.
Yes.
And just like in Jumpstart, suddenly we got one of the craziest goblins. General Kree, you mentioned.
General Kree.
Kree,
The
yeah.
Bolt Bringer.
Yeah, whenever one or more goblins you control attack, you create a tapped and attacking goblin, and whenever another creature you control enters, this creature deals 1 to each opponent. It's
Yes.
just crazy good. Now here we do have a goblin.
I think it's the Goblin Trash Master.
Could be the Trash
For
Master.
3 mana. The
Yeah.
goblin that I think
Other yeah.
pumps the goblins and can really make sure that the artifacts won't stay. But right now it's being memory lapsed. So
True.
even though the Aragorn went to opening 5 cards in hand, it really didn't matter because you've got the counter spells, you've got the interaction, and you can do whatever you want.
Absolutely. And, you know, let's not forget the fact that when you play Aragorn, you know you have a way of getting more cards. It's
Yes.
in your command zone. It's the Monarch ability. So you're
Right
just
now-
gonna use it.
The Aragorn can be played. The question is he? And if he is there still the force of will in the hand?
Would you have Force of Will in a hand where it's like 2 cards left or 3 cards left? It can be there. It would be brutal though.
Or,
Subtlety.
and it would be really a miracle. You could go for the Aragorn hoping for the best and draw it from that
Well, yeah.
from the Monarch,
It can always happen,
which
right?
would be basically miracle,
Yeah, well, yeah, you're not wrong.
but not the
I
mechanic.
forgot the mechanic miracle. My God. Yeah, but you're right. And it's not only one target, right?
Yes.
You can also go for the target of having the either subtlety.
And
Subtlety works as
Aragorn
well.
is going to be played.
Sure, and just draw a card.
So again,
Well, with 3 cards in hand or 2 cards in
crowning
hand,
has
you
been
need
done,
to do it.
and right now might be the moment for the Muxus. The question is, the Goblin Trashmaster has been put on the top of your library.
Is there another land?
Is there another? Yeah, you
Well-
just need land.
Well, otherwise, why would Wojciech put it on top? Like, that would make no sense.
You don't have a choice. The memory lapse works. that
That's
it
true.
puts-
I'm sorry.
the
That's
card
on
on
me.
the top.
Yeah, I was thinking of subtlety.
No. The memory lapse doesn't ask. It just takes the card and puts it on the top.
I got memory lapsed myself. I'm sorry. Now, when it comes to the options, we don't really see Wojciech's hand, but usually the majority of deck is just a couple of goblins that you
Yeah.
need, and then the setup to
Yes.
play Muxus. It is. It might look a bit clunky, but it works very neatly as a deck altogether. But sometimes some hands are so anemic. There is just nothing that you can do with it.
I'm just hoping for one thing. I'm so desperate. I want to see the Muxus resolved at least once today.
I would love to see that. On camera, of course. I highly believe that Wojciech won a couple of games by resolving Muxus.
He must have seen it multiple times today.
Okay,
and there is the
the
land.
land.
And the question is there the force of will again?
Ooh, we shall see. Or subtlety?
Or subtlety?
Subtlety would actually not solve enough. Because it would just postpone the problem to the next turn.
Yeah, but you could you could be drawing
you
two
can just have
cards
a
from the
counter
monarch.
spell, right?
You would be getting some life, making sure that one round of Muxus wouldn't be enough.
Muxus is going
And
to be
I think that the
attempted.
Muxus is going to be attempted. And his deal is
resolved.
And as you can see, the fingers crossed on the side of the Aragorn. And let's see. One goblin, Rite of Flame, land, and a few more. Land. Ooh. So that is not one of the
greatest.
Not the greatest. And the most important thing is that the goblins do not have haste.
The first one is the Siege Gang Commando. The second one is Entrepreneuring something. Nimbler, maybe?
Yeah, the card mostly seen in, I guess, is that Pauper one?
I think it is uncommon. I don't know 100%, but it looks like if you descend it, you make treasure.
Yes, that's the one.
Entrepreneuring something. We shall see if we can find a card. Now it does make treasure if you descend it.
And you can see interesting thing. The tokens. The Tuk is famous for having multiple styles of his goblin tokens.
He took different tokens.
He took many different, and he's some kind of you could say collector of them.
Okay, all right. Now let's see. Parallax Wave. Oh my. Okay, that is a strong option. Now it looks like it just resolved, right? So it's going under it, and Muxus as well. Does he want to take it away?
Why would you?
Yeah, he did, and then just going back to the command zone.
But there is the treasure already, so you
True,
need just
one more land.
One more land. We know that the Rite of Flame has been in the top cards, so it's not gonna be there.
True.
But there could be some other kind of rituals that you just need to accelerate the mana a little bit, and the Muxus can come back.
Absolutely. Let's see what happens. And there is actually an option to just activate the cactus, whatever, and just go for a swing, because it is a 6/6, which means you actually don't risk it dying, and you steal the monarch.
The problem is that there is still that parallax wave going on.
True, but the less counters there are on the parallax wave, the closer you get to getting the siege commando back.
So even though if you manage to resolve like Muxus, the key pieces of the goblins that get to the battlefield can be answered by that parallax wave.
True, but the parallax wave will just not stay forever.
Yeah, you're just postponing the inevitable.
Yeah.
The question is if you are going to do something before that final goblin punch in your
stifle the return effect.
Ooh, and we know that there is the stifle.
And Tishana as well.
And the Tishana as well. The question is, there could be like a Tails End more.
That works as well. True.
Which works as well. So there are many options.
Yeah.
To make sure that the creatures exiled with Parallax Wave won't come back.
Absolutely. Now we shall see what is the approach of Wojciech, because he's taking a long think.
There's only one mana open, but
it's just 7 mana.
You came here with Muxus, hoping to resolve as many Muxus.
Prepare for trouble and make it
let's go
double.
Again.
Okay, just one.
There's the 2 damage
and another.
Ooh, there's the Adder Drift edition. It's the one that gives
+1/+1 and then does some things for red mana.
I guess it gives your goblins haste and creates one goblin that has to attack every single combat.
True. That's the one from Adder Drift, the new one. Now, goblins are a little bigger. Yeah, and there is
And
also
because
the
of that-
engine. Start your engine.
Starter engines. Yes, other goblins you control haste. It's the important thing because I think this goblin is going to be answered with parallax wave nearly immediately.
We will see, because otherwise he can just go to combat and steal the initiative very easily. Although the monarch.
The monarch.
Like the small goblins can just go for a walk, and one of them will be killed by Aragorn, which is a bit nasty from a king. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But it would manage
You
to
need
take
to
the
defend
monarchy.
the crown, so you do whatever you can.
Well, he will not be able to defend the
yes,
crown.
that's the unfortunate thing.
He will just kill one person while doing it.
He will be outnumbered by the goblins.
100%.
So I guess there was some kind of
I don't know.
life loss.
That is the
With the
twin shot.
sniper.
Yeah, the twin shot deals damage when it comes in.
The hasty one really got put under the parallax wave.
But let's imagine the situation when the siege gang commando and also the Howl Squad heavy comes back. Both of them come back. It's gonna be a lot of pressure.
A lot.
Because it's 2/2s with haste. Or well, it's not 2/2s, but it's 1/1s with haste, and they can be sacked as well.
Yes.
And there is gonna be a card draw for Wojciech as well.
Yeah, that is the thing he's been lacking this whole matchup.
Yeah.
The
Drawing
way
cards
to
is a
draw
problem.
cards. If you compare it to his opponent, so getting the crown for a little bit of time really might help him.
Absolutely. And actually, he might even be able to defend the crown.
Yeah, but in
so parallax wave just took away all the tokens.
Yeah, it cost the parallax wave.
Just to defend the crown.
Right now, because I think that the descended.
It doesn't really work. He hasn't descended because nothing went to the graveyard.
Yep.
That is how descent works. So no treasure for Wojciech.
Let's see. Is there the stifle effect or Tishana effect?
No,
It
there
is.
the Tishana style.
It is.
That is
It
brutal.
is. And I've been talking about this the last game. This especially card, this single Tishana, and I don't mean the card in general, I mean this card physically. The Tishana Spider that belongs to Michal Hruby made today so much work. We've seen it and I've heard about it, and it could, I think it must be some, like the medal, really.
It could even be potentially in the nicer special art.
Yeah.
I would love for him to just upgrade it into the art that everybody hates.
Yeah, some. So if Michal Hruby manages to win and he'll be there at the interview, we can like.
Shout out to Tishana Steinbeiner. It carried me through the whole match. Or through the whole tournament, actually.
And tell him that he could afford some.
Okay, so that's the Goblin Thrasher?
Yes, that's the Goblin Trash Master.
But there is nothing to Trash Master.
Thrasher.
Trash Master?
No.
Trash Master.
I think.
He's the master of the trash.
Yes.
He's the trash man.
He's the trash man.
But there is nothing to trash. Like, there are no artifact targets.
Yeah.
There is nothing of value.
It's just Goblin Lord right now.
Yeah, it's just a lord. Although it doesn't really help.
With
like Aragorn is just too big. There is nothing to block because Aragorn just says no blocking for you. Yeah. There's gonna be an attack with Muxus, which is 6/6 now, and Cactus.
And Cactuar. So it's 2 6s. But
double 6/6. Yeah.
Look at the life total. 29.
Yeah. The only thing that could be a problem is defending the monarchy because then Aragorn doesn't have the attack trigger.
But at this state of the game, are you really caring about that much?
You could be. Okay, there is an all-out attack, evidently.
Nearly, because that the goblin that can create treasure also could be attacking, but I think that
I believe that the
that's
idea
why the sniper is attacking also because it can come to the graveyard.
I think it's a bait.
Yes.
I think that Wojciech just wants the sniper to die.
Yeah, just
so
to get
that
the
he
treasure.
descends, and then if Muxus is dealt with, he can just replay it again. And actually, he can potentially deal with Muxus, I guess.
Potentially,
to
but
sacrifice it and destroy a target artifact, although he would have to destroy his own artifact or something.
that's true. The Trashmaster really doesn't blow up anything, but you can still sack the goblin to the ability. Yes.
Well, no, you have to target. You do have to target,
Ooh, but there is one thing. That sniper
is
is
an
the
artifact
creature.
That is a mental way to do it, but it could work.
Yeah, because this way you're dealing your opponent 6 damage, making sure that Aragorn is gaining no life in the process,
you're also taking
stealing
the
crown and descending at the same time and putting the Muxus in the command zone. You are doing
and
so
you
much.
deny the 4 life. You would deny the 4 life. Let's see how it goes. So no, okay, nothing was done in a different way. Our approach was to meddle, I believe.
Yeah.
So just
You are still using the Muxus as
just
the
damage,
beatdown.
just draw cards.
Yeah. And
descent should happen.
And one thing that can happen if the descent happens,
And
the
card draw should
treasure
happen.
is an artifact. So if you really
Yeah.
want the Muxus to get to the command zone, you can just use it to destroy the treasure.
Sure. I think that maybe there are some effects at the end of Wojciech's turn.
Yeah.
So before the descent happens, before the monarchy happens,
Yeah, there's the fetching.
there might be something being done, like something being played, some instant, flashy sort of creature, which is quite common for Aragorn.
The trouble is that there is the Arena of Glory. So we can be talking what is going to happen in the next Muxus system, but there might be no turn at all.
Hullbreacher. Now
Yes.
that is a card. Yeah, you would like to draw a card.
And it is why it happened before, because there is that monarch, but it will only give the treasure to your opponent.
Yeah.
Because
Hullbreacher is brutal.
if you are the Aragorn and wearing the crown, you are drawing the cards. But if the opponent has, you have the Merfolk Pirate to solve it for you.
So he's profiting from monarchy. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first person that realized that being a monarch actually makes money. Now there is an attack from Aragorn which will say that the Goblin Trashmaster can't block, probably.
Yes.
At least that's what it looks like from gestures of our players. Which would mean attack for 4
Yes.
or a block to defend the crown. And a jump, the sacrifice to Trashmaster to destroy the treasure,
Yes.
to deny 4 life.
Well, he said that the Trashmaster is not doing that much of anything, but we've seen
this was nice.
that it managed to prevent some life gain.
At least something.
Yes.
Now, Muxus being a 6/6 and a Cactus being a 6/6 are quite nice. It's a lot of pressure.
But still, you've put so much pressure to get that monarch, and the Hullbreacher is making the...
Well, at least your opponent is not drawing. Like, treasures are nice, but if they are not drawing cards, I think it's even better.
Yeah.
And the fact that Aragorn doesn't just say nothing blocks, that also is not very nice.
But the mana is really, really developing. You could jump with Aragorn, replay it through Arena of Glory, and you are making your whole board unblockable by that.
Yeah. I know.
So I think
Arena
that
of
the
Glory
Wojciech
is also another card that Michael must be really happy about.
Yes.
Yeah, we mentioned a couple of times. It basically won like 2 games for him. Or at least the first game with
the games we've seen. There might be more of them we haven't seen.
True. All right, now let's see what Wojciech is cooking up.
This might be one of his last turns, so he needs to take some time, really, to think a lot about it.
Enjoy the moment.
No, I guess that he cannot enjoy the moment.
He has to.
The one thing
It's
he can go for is that he could really replay like the Muxus, I guess, because you can sacrifice him to destroying your own treasure, and in response suck it to the mana.
Sure, yeah, you can do that.
So you are not losing the mana in the process, and like another Muxus revelation from the top of the library
could work
to end up the game. But let's face the reality. It's really risky, and if it won't affect the game that much, you are probably going to lose the next game.
Okay, but is there any other out? Is there anything else that could be done by Wojciech? Like, we don't know the hand, of course, but this line at least gives a chance, a fighting chance. But with this sort of board, Aragorn will slowly just take over the whole thing.
I think there is one interesting thing that could be like a small consolation prize, because that goblin that cares about the starting of engines is already gone, but the speed is still counting.
The speed is still important. That is the right of something. It gives you mana equal to the number of creatures. So he gained 2?
I think it's it says something and ritual in it, but the effect, as you were mentioning, is pretty much the same.
Yeah, some kind of ritual. It is a goblin ritual.
Goblin ritual.
Now there is a sacrifice effect of something.
Ooh.
Is it a goblin grenade?
No. It's the card that you sacrifice a creature to it and get 3 mana, I guess.
Okay, sure. So weird sort of red ritual, which managed to get the mana and just put out Muxus again, and subtlety is the response.
And I think this is going to be one of the final
It doesn't have to
plays.
be the end, but it looks like we are getting close to it.
I think the question is if Aragorn somehow manages to get the Monarch.
Sure.
If you have removal, you could just remove your own Aragorn and replay him from that Arena of Glory, but probably not the case right now.
Is there an actual need
Goblin
to...
Threshmaster sacrificing himself to deny the mana for the opponent.
Yeah, but that's the game.
That's the game.
It was evident that Michal Hruby had it all. Ladies and gentlemen, we do have a champion. Michal Hruby is our Duel Commander Masters 2025 champion. He won after some grueling, long, brutal games against Azusa in the semifinals.
And you could have seen the most of his way throughout the top 16 players, because he was in 3 of our 4 feature matches.
And
so
he did
you
well.
could see how he managed to do that.
It was absolutely fantastic.
There
Now
is
we can see
some
players cheering
celebration.
next to us, close to us, and he really did well.
Yeah.
I have to say, he piloted the Aragorn deck with confidence, absolute control over the whole board and over the whole game. Even in some cases where I was basically, my idea was there is no way to win.
Yeah. So I think that the interview with our champion is going to be occurring shortly. So stay here.
Yeah, just stay for a moment.
Yeah.
We will have our champion here in just a second, and we will say our congratulations, and the players will be able to leave, basically, go home, enjoy good night's sleep, or celebrate the night out. So we will see you in a moment. Alright, and welcome back to our final interview, final moments of the tournament. Now, Michael, first of all, I have to say congratulations. It was great, it was fantastic seeing you here.
Thank you very much.
How do you feel about the whole day?
I mean, most of all, pretty tired. That's like the first thing after 40 hours of Magic straight. I feel like I was very fortunate today. In the Swiss, I thought I was done for. I was 5-2 and 20 to top 16 from the 16th place. So I was
You managed
Yeah,
Shieldred in the
yeah.
first one. That was the top player that you did play, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, but the biggest deciding factor in those games were just the fatigue actually.
Yeah.
I have to say my opponent, even I couldn't keep up the perfect game under that many hours of Magic.
Basically, they made more mistakes than you did.
Yeah. And I think like this is the whole story of this top 8 is like, or like top 16 actually, like here. That like, usually the guy who doesn't throw the game so hard takes the cake. But because like against the Shieldred opponent, it so happened that both games he could have won, I think.
I was actually doing the commentary, and there were moments where it was like the clink to dust.
Yeah, the clink. I was like, I was too cocky. I just like, I think if I didn't like show the arena, he would have forgot about everything.
Yeah.
I just like played the ferry and like win, but then like I was like, okay, I showed the arena. Okay, we can go next time. And like he clink. Okay, what? Yeah. Then I played the ferry. It's like, yeah, sure, and like.
Right.
Got it anyways.
And he just said like he just forgot.
Yeah, exactly. And game 2 he had kill, but he went for the wrong cards.
Yeah.
He could have like make me draw 5 cards and lose 5 life with his effects like Signing Ball and stuff.
Yeah.
He told me, but he like tutored like suboptimally.
Right, because he forgot about a parallax wave on board.
Yeah. So the children just like that do not work.
Yeah. Right. The match that I'm most interested in, how you felt about it, was the one against Azusa.
Oh yeah,
because we did a commentary on both feature matches of Azusa, and that is the reason why we are here so late, actually.
Oh yeah, most likely.
How was it?
First of all, I play a lot against Azusa. I have one great friend that like plays a lot of it, so I knew most of the stuff. Sadly, in the game I couldn't like see everything that was going on, so I did some mistakes here and there. In the game 1, I think I played too passively, and I could have like pushed him harder to like keep on the clock a bit more and not give him that much time. He always like managed to like wiggle just a bit out of it and managed to survive.
Right.
Like game 2 was like I was feeling like I most likely cannot win the game.
Yeah.
I was playing for like mostly my opponent messing up because I still have like the Tishana Sideburner basically the whole game.
Yeah.
I knew he had multiple tutors, so going for his lands like wasn't the plan. The big one was like seeing that he doesn't have mana for like woodlands, he put away the chasm and then like I have him.
Right, like in that moment you knew this is the moment where I can do it.
Like if he doesn't play after a miracle land for turn, I have him.
Yeah. And you managed to stick through it actually. The play I loved in the first game you won against Azusa was the way that you killed your own Aragorn on the opponent's side, Arena of Glory.
Like that's actually how both games ended. I like destroyed my Aragorn somehow and then I managed to haste and
Detective Phoenix was the poison of choice in the second game.
Exactly.
And I believe that I don't want to go against Wojciech and his Muxus deck, and it was great. I loved it.
Yeah, it's like super fun and super explosive.
But it felt less stressful, at least from our perspective for you, than playing the long, grindy Azusa match.
Oh yeah, because like most of the thing about Muxus is like basically face up.
Right.
Like there is a threat in the command zone, ding 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 ding, but like Azusa is like okay, he has just like more ramp, so he can get to his like super complicated tutor lines like more quickly, and he can like have more options more quickly, so I have to put out more pressure. But like against Muxus, sometimes he just like has to do multiple rituals, like waste his hand out, and I can just like counter Muxus, and like basically stifle his like whole game plan for like a few turns. And Muxus costs like impossible mana for him to cast. Actually, I like messed up like game 2 with the parallax save. I shouldn't have exiled Muxus at all. I should have like maybe at his end step or something where I like untap or do stuff, but I shouldn't have given him option to cast him again if he draws land. So
we were unsure about the choice. Although we like the play with stifling your own.
That was like I was kind of fishing that like if he puts everything under like parallax, I can like clear it forever away.
Yeah.
Luckily, or like my opponent is not a dum-dum, so he correctly like put Muxus in the command zone because he kind of sniffed it coming. But I was a dum-dum for even like exiling it and trying to like
bait him out.
Bait him out,
Right.
Yeah, I'm just tired. I was like blanking so much. Even in game 1, I had like I don't know if you saw it. I had the Oliphant in the opening end, and I just forgot to like land cycle at the end step.
So you did it just
I was
the next
like,
turn.
he's a pass. I'm like with headache. Sure.
Yeah.
draw
and
like fuck.
this is the problem of long tournaments.
Yeah, like 40 hours is like insane.
Yeah, like we started at 10 and now it's midnight basically.
Yeah.
So once again, Michael, congratulations on the whole performance. It was fantastic. You did the best out of everyone here. This is what we have to say because you managed to win it all.
Yeah.
And what is your plan after you finish this night?
Take my trophy, hopefully don't break it, don't let it be stolen, take, I don't know, something from the prizes,
Yeah,
head home, probably eat something. I haven't eaten anything since morning.
makes sense.
I
yeah.
also didn't have breakfast, so I'm like...
Yeah, like
nothing.
really hungry.
Yeah.
Understandable.
I mean, like, I had beers, they are kind of doping, honestly.
Yeah,
like
snacking on beer.
Yeah,
that is-
snacking on beer is like doping for Czech people, so...
Yeah. That is we're in Prague. That's what we have to do. Right, and probably taking some sleep afterwards as well.
Yeah,
right?
I'll have to play pre-modern tomorrow.
Oh my! All right, you have to. Okay.
Oh no, like
I
I really
understand.
wanna.
You want to? I understand.
Yeah, I also built deck just for the event. I mismatched everything I could, just like to mess up with pre-modern guys, to like
Right.
tilt them a bit, get a bit of the mental edge, you know.
Cool.
Yeah, but,
so you guys can see Michael tomorrow, and hopefully he will manage even better. Well, you can do better performance.
like,
You can do
nah,
better,
you
but
cannot.
at least the same.
Yeah.
All right. Can you show your trophy, please, on the camera so we can see it? Hopefully,
It's
yeah.
like, it's gonna be hard, but
It's
like,
fading.
Yeah, it's fading. Oh, so I'm gonna have to show it like in.
Kind of, in a way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
At
looks
least
like
we can
this.
see some of it.
What
All
is
right.
it, like Czech dual commander champion.
Yeah,
Something like that.
Fantastic. Now, Michael, thank you very much once again. Great job. And guys, we thank you very much for staying with us for, I believe, 14 hours basically
Yeah,
of a
something like
great and long tournament. So we're happy that you were here, Michael. We're happy that you managed to win it all.
Yeah, I'm just glad I didn't throw it away. I did at few points, but like opponent kind of like threw it back, something like at volleyball.
Right.
We just like tossing the ball
Yeah,
to
like,
each other.
no, you win. No, you win.
Yeah, tossing. And luckily, opponent dropped the ball. Like
That is fantastic.
all my like matches on camera. So that's basically the story of my like tournament. Somehow managed to sneak into the top 16. I was just done. I was just like round 7. I just like don't care about my opponent.
Yeah.
I just I played into Atraxa. I just like dress down, solitude at your end step. I don't care. Put pressure on. Just slam him. And I somehow won both games like that.
And it worked.
And then I just like went off for a few beers. Had like 6 before top 8 or top 16. And then suddenly, hey Michael, you're in top 16. I'm like, what? And I was like super stressed because like I wasn't in a condition to play top 16.
Right.
Luckily games are long, so I sobered up.
That's great.
That's basically
Like during playing Azusa, you basically went to, like you sobered up, as you
oh
said.
yeah, I sobered up and almost fell asleep.
Understandable.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We also wish you good night, and we thank you for staying with us for such a long time. Thank you and goodbye.
Ciao.